Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my Cayo Perico Heist guide, where I will be showing you how you can do the big con approach and then still get the elite challenge while using the supply truck. Now, this is more of a niche kind of approach, but I thought it would still be fun to give people some other options to play and still get the elite challenge and walk away with that $50,000 to $100,000 depending on what difficulty you play on. If you want to get a more in-depth guide about the entire heist and how to do everything the most effective way possible, then please check out the in-depth guide that I've done before in the eye in the top right of the screen, alongside of all the other videos for the Cayo Perico Heist. Now, without further ado, let's get right into it. As you can probably already tell by the footage, we're going to be taking the Alkonost as an approach vehicle for the reason that we can do the halo jump if we do so. The reason for that is pretty simple, because that way you can basically land anywhere where your guard clothing is and also plan accordingly. It's the most easy way to do it. It really doesn't matter which approach vehicle you take, but for the tutorial I went with this one because it's the easiest to explain. In order to start this, you need two things. You need guard clothing as well as a supply truck. If you do so, then you'll be able to just waltz through the front door without anyone paying attention. Now, in order to find these two items, that's going to be a little bit more difficult. The supply truck has a total of 4 spawns around the Cayo Perico Island. Meanwhile, the guard clothing can basically be in any spot possible. So for that reason, here's a handy map that I have found on Reddit, as well as in the link in the description down below, because that's much easier to see than on a video. So, of course, this does mean that you have to go to Cayo Perico Island first in order to scope out your guard clothing as well as the supply truck. Pro tip, by the way, if you're planning on doing this with more than one person, then don't worry about it. You can just simply use the same spot for the guard clothing and just all grab from the same crate. Also, make sure, of course, to wear the guard clothing if you're driving the supply truck, or else you're going to get spotted right away. And before we get into the finale, let me give you some quick tips for the Alkonost prep mission, because there's some very cool things in there that you actually are able to do inside of this mission. First of all, you can go around the hangar and then actually turn off the electricity to make the hangar completely dark. If you then have one of the quad length helmets, you'll be able to see everyone in thermal vision and also just be able to shoot everyone in the head without any of them shooting back at all. But if the light does turn on again, then you're going to have some more resistance. But there's not that many enemies, and you should be able to take them out before the light goes back on. It's a pretty cool thing to do. It's not necessarily necessary because that helmet is going to cost you $100,000 if you don't have one. After you've taken out all the enemies, it's your turn to start looking for a laptop. Now, this laptop has 3 different locations. This is either in the office, where it's normally in your own personal hangar, and then 2 locations inside of the workshop. All of them are showing on screen, so you can find them very easily. Now, of course, the rest of the prep mission is just simply flying the Alkonost to the LSIA hangar, and that's all there is to it. Right, so let's get started with the finale itself. Personally, I am starting at the airfield because that's where my guard clothing was. Of course, personally, you don't have to do so, and your best idea really is to just parachute down to the guard clothing location that you scoped out yourself. What you want to make sure that you do, by the way, is that your guard clothing is going to be near around some secondary targets, so you can immediately start looting that. If you need to know where the secondary targets are, there is a video for that in a playlist I linked before. Upon landing your parachute, you want to of course take out this guard real quick, and then, like I was doing, I'm going to make my way inside of the hangar. Now, while we're here, I'm going to show you a neat little trick that you can do in order to get to these first floor secondary targets and basically grab all 4 in one go like I did before. Of course, this is still coming down to chance, and whether or not there's going to be locations for you there is again going to be coming down to chance. Now, if you're going to be as lucky as I am in these 4 locations, I don't know. For that reason, it might be a good idea to scope out these locations before you actually start to attempt the finale. Personally, I just decided to YOLO it and see what happens. Now, of course, there's also another location across the airfield in the wooden hut, which is also another location you could potentially scope out too as you're making your way to the bike, which we'll be doing soon. Once you've acquired your guard clothing, which doesn't really look like guard clothing, but more like you're going on a party on Saturday night, but hey, you know, it is what it is. You want to locate the supply truck that is on your map. Now, this supply truck will be driving around the island, and it's your objective to go there, shoot the driver in the head, and then steal his truck. After you find out where the supply truck is, you want to find yourself a vehicle. Now, preferably, this is going to be the bike because it's the fastest one, but it doesn't really matter, primarily because of the fact that you'll be able to just go around the map freely without guards spotting you because you're wearing the same goofy outfit as they are. After you've acquired the truck, it's time to make your way to the compound and then pretend that you're one of them, in a very awkward cutscene. Yes, my character does indeed look like someone who is one of the fellow drug dealers inside of this compound. After you made it inside of the compound, you want to make a dash to the right and then take out this guard and this camera right here. Upon doing so, you want to take another climb to the left here and then jump down and jump over this fence again, kind of ruining the gardening there, and then take out this guy which is trying to get away. He has a potential of dropping the key, which you're going to need in order to get to the exits quickly. Now you can pick it up here, or you can get any of the other 3 guards that I'm going to shoot in the head as well, as an example, not because I enjoy it, of course. If you've acquired the key, you can make your way to El Rubio's office, where we will be taking a quick look inside of the vault to see if we can make some additional bits of cash. After you've done that, you want to make your way to the fingerprint scanner, and because I really don't want to waste your time, I'm going to refer you once again to a tutorial for fingerprints so we can continue on with this Elite Challenge run. After you're done with your fingerprint scanner, you can make your way to the primary target, and after you've acquired that, you can make your way to the exit. Now the exits you'll be taking is going to be a direct left after you're done with taking the primary target. There'll be another fingerprint scanner waiting for you, but you know, at this point, you're probably a master because you've done it 4 times already. After kicking and screaming a huge gate in front of a bunch of guards, you can make your way out of the compound, and then it's time to kill one last guard to then steal his bike and then go for a little swim. Now you might be wondering like, wait, why you're not going to the main docks? Well, the reason for that is pretty simple. Because you already done your loot bag looting, you don't actually have to go to any more secondary targets, and that's primarily the reason why we did that at the start. What you can do is just simply swim your way out of the island without any need of vehicles or anything like that. What you can also do if you don't like swimming is take out one of the boats and then steal that. All you need to do is stand on the same position I just jumped off from and just shoot him in the head and the boat will be yours. It's really that simple. Now before you ask, no, these boats are not clever. If you shoot them, they'll not respond at all. They will only start panicking and doing things whenever you alert the other guards on the island itself. Does this make any sense? No. Is this potentially going to get patched? Maybe, but at the same time, for now, it's a very quick and a very easy escape. And that really is all there is to it. That is how you do the Big Con approach with the Elite Challenge all intact. A pretty simple yet pretty fun way to do the Cayo Perico Heist instead of doing it the same way everyone has been doing it for the past few days. But with all that said and with all that done, that was it for this one. Thank you also very much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed it, found it useful, and check out the playlist if you need more tips, tricks and other things for the Cayo Perico Heist. And if you really like what you see, be sure to become a member like all your fellow members on screen. Thank you also very much for watching, and I'll see you all later.